Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to LadyGang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Keltie Knight.
Good day.
Good day. I don't know what to do about my light, guys.
What's going on with your light?
I like to sit in front of a window because it gives me, but behind here is, it's okay. I'm moving over a little
You're
bit.
just fuzzy, so I can't really see what.
Okay.
I mean, we're not looking our best. I think we're okay.
We are not our best at this momento. So excited to be alive.
Just to be alive in general?
Yeah, that's it. I'm so excited. We just wrapped with Jonathan, who's coming up on this episode, and like he just makes me believe in life. Like he's me as a man, I think. And
yeah, he is a little bit.
Yeah. And it just makes me feel better about myself. I don't know what exactly it is, but.
Well, I feel like he has no ego about any of the things that he does. And Keltie, as insane as you are in the way that you clip things out of magazines and have your own scrapbook, you also don't have an ego. So it's like, it's very refreshing to see two people who hustle their asses off and like just say yes to every opportunity and don't take themselves too seriously, but have fun doing it. Like it's a really rare combination.
It's like
people.
Two kids not at the cool kids table, but we're like, I'm okay. I mean, we both want to be at the cool kids table desperately,
but your table's cooler. Like
that's what I think too.
It's so much cooler. You're not,
and we're having more fun.
You're having more fun. You're being yourselves. You're, silly and wacky and zany. And it's just like, it's cute. It's really cute.
And he makes you feel seen, I think. Because he acknowledges, what was that hashtag you were trying to do for a while?
Oh, God.
Behind the hustle or something?
Oh, my
God.
Show the work.
Showing the work.
Which, by the way, can we all acknowledge that I coined the term?
No, I know you did. And then she kind of like did the opposite of what you're like trying to get her to do. She's like showing the work. Me sitting, getting my hair and makeup done.
Here's my extensions. That's so much work. Showing the work.
Showing the work. Me holding my 3 Emmys.
I know. I messed up. Here, I'll show the work right now, which is me packing thousands of VIP bags for tour.
That's showing the work.
I honestly hate it so much that I can't even make Derek do it anymore because it's such a terrible job that I'm like.
I would love that job, to turn on a podcast and just roll.
Sit.
Those are my favorite kinds of jobs.
Come on,
it's like very mundane.
If I lived there, I would totally help you out, but sorry.
Oopsie, she moved away and can't help anymore.
Whoopsies. Okay, let's do it.
It's time for
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go, I guess. So my bad week my good week is I just got back from When We Were Young Festival. I think that you can hear from my voice that like I had a very good time. But the bad week is, you guys, my hangovers at 37, they really just last for like so long. So long. Never go away. The anxiety also lasts forever. I'm like trying so hard to just hold it together, but I'm just falling apart on the inside. But it's worth it, I think.
What did you drink? Like, what are you drinking at an outdoor festival all night long?
Just so much tequila. So much tequila.
I feel like you only recently have been doing tequila.
I drank only tequila for the first time at a LadyGang show the other night. I've been like scared of hard liquor because I used to get like allergic reactions to it when I was younger. So I only drank like wine and champagne. But now I'm back on the train and it's so good until it's not the next day.
You know what else didn't last? Your spray tan, because it's only up in your hairline right now.
That was also going to be my bad week, is the way that the spray tan, and it's also just
it's on your nose and your part.
Also, Jack, I don't know if they just do better spray tans in Texas, but like the hands, you have never achieved an accurate hand spray.
Do you do it yourself or you go somewhere?
I'm going to tell you what the problem is. It's not the spray tanner's problem. When I sleep, I put my hand like in between my legs, like as a comfort thing.
So you need to sleep in gloves after.
And then I also put one on my face. So it's like the face tan and the leg tan rub off of my hands.
Okay. Because you're giving me like 2004 spray tan. Like,
it's like we should be beyond this.
Beyond
this level.
Your friends did at your friend Kendra's wedding, they did just a hand pick.
Oh, yeah.
of rings, like 6 girls with a ring, and I knew exactly whose hand was yours because of the wonky spray tan.
Yeah.
I will say it's still better than being pale.
Of course. But why don't you do a sleep in like a glove after you get
Maybe
sprayed?
I will.
Or here's an idea. Get sprayed and don't do it at night. Do it in the daytime so you're more aware of where you're touching things.
It'll still rub off. It still happens. Yeah. But
interesting.
Orange hands. I love them. Okay. My good week is I saw this meme on Instagram and it says, I don't like to gossip. I only spread lore. And that's what I'm going to use from now on instead of gossiping. Like spreading the lore. Like what lore are you spreading today?
Like LORE?
Yeah, like lore. Like, it's like the history of the story behind something.
Yes.
But it's like spreading lore, I think is like, then you don't feel as bad for gossiping.
Yeah, I could get into lore.
Yeah. Right?
The lore.
The lore. Like what lore do you have to spread?
Do you guys want to spread some lore?
Yeah. Well, you don't, I feel like you don't really get it.
No, I want to. I mean, not right now. I don't have any lore, but when I have some, I will spread some for you.
Great. Yeah, me too.
Well, Becca and I are good at spreading lore together. Sometimes Keltie just like can't get into it.
Yeah. Sorry. It's sometimes you are. You've gotten better. We've discussed this. You've gotten much better. I think it's because you're training for housewives, but you have gotten much better.
Yeah.
We're like, Keltie, can you please gossip with us? Please.
I know. Okay, I will. I'll spread the lore.
Spread
Becca?
the lore.
Okay. So my bad week is that I was driving Ford to school the other morning, and it was after just a chaotic weekend. Zach had traveled with Ford. It was like a whole thing. And anybody who knows the car seat debacle is so insane. Like if you take it out of your car to put it back in, no matter what the brand is, it's like you're fighting for your life trying to get that car seat installed again.
Oh no.
It takes so much time to do it. It's just crazy. So Zach came back. He traveled with the car seat that goes in my seat. He got back and we forgot when I go to load Ford into the car the next morning that the car seat is not installed. So that's like adding on 20 minutes of our morning. And I hate when he's late. So I do it. I'm cursing. He's standing there with his lovey just staring at me like my mother's having a meltdown. I'm screaming. I'm cursing Zach's name because he's not there to help me. And it's his job to put it back in. It was like one of those mornings,
Yeah.
I get him in the car. We're driving to school and there's this one stretch of driving, which has a very low speed limit for no reason. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking around. There's no reason.
No park, no school.
Nothing. And I suddenly see a police officer.
No.
Yep. A sneaky, creepy police officer, hiding. You know how they do?
Yeah.
And he pulls me over. I'm in the car.
You got pulled over?
With my child in the car.
Oh, no.
And Ford's like, what's happening? Mama, what's happening? And kids of this age are obsessed with police officers, right?
Yeah,
They're
so he's so
obsessed
excited.
with firefighters.
Stoked, yeah.
He's stoked. The lights go on. I pull over and I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was only going 10 over, like 10 miles per hour over, which is not only, I understand that's like a lot, but it could be worse. And I just feel like pick your fucking battles, okay? With the speed. Like I thought everybody knew you could go at least 10 miles per hour over a speed limit and not get pulled over. Am I wrong? Like, is that not just?
Yeah. No, I think that's just like a thing.
I think it's a thing. It's like
knows.
7 or something. Like
Something
you
like
can
that.
go over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he pulls me over and here's the thing. Listen, my sister-in-law is a police officer, okay? I respect a civil servant. I respect somebody who's putting their life on the line every day to keep us safe, all the things. But I want to know why you have to be such a dickhead when you pull me over. You know what I mean? It's just his demeanor was rude. He didn't even greet my child who's freaking out over there being a police officer and hit a car. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, where's the humanity? I am breaking the law. I guess I'm going 10 miles over the speed limit. I'm not like burglarizing a house. I understand you don't want to be warm and cheery to somebody who's really breaking the law.
Right.
But like, it just really. And sometimes I've been pulled over in many years ago where the police officers they're friendly and they're nice.
They're kind of like, ooh, gotcha. And
yeah, and they're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. If I'm in a rush to school, still give me the ticket. I'm not going to like try to cry my way out of this or whatever. But he was just such a dick. Like, I don't understand. Can somebody who's a police officer tell me, like, why is there no bedside manner?
When I'm breaking the law, I'm going to need you to be nicer to me.
But there's a 2.5-year-old in my car also.
No, it's true. It's true.
It's like, I get it. I'm like, I know I'm being
How
a
much was
whiny
the ticket?
baby bitch. I'm also a white woman getting pulled over. Like, I think that I can really pick my battles with this whole thing. The ticket was $300.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
how fast did he clock you at?
Going 40 and a 30.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Anyways, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this because they are, I'm sure that this is like the last of the issues that we have to handle when it comes to this matter.
But this is your life.
But, I just was like, it's bad enough I have to pay $300. You don't have to be a dick to me. Oh, and then I didn't have a license plate on the front of my car and I didn't know you needed one. And he said, yeah, it's a 2-plate state.
Oh.
Not a 2-plate state.
I like how he has like a saying.
He does have a slogan. He didn't even give me like a smirk, and I kind of laughed. I was like, oh, and then nothing, not at all. He hated me.
Wow.
Anyways, my good week is that the year is flying by, and my son is a Halloween enthusiast.
Ooh.
And when I tell you, I was so concerned about costumes and like getting him into a costume. Every day of our lives now, he does a practice run in costume.
Yes.
And he crushed Halloween. He is obsessed. It might be his favorite. I kind of am hoping that it stays that way because I'm so not a Halloween person.
Yeah.
But if my kid is really into it, I see a promising future. He didn't even blink when I put the hat on him and the goggles because he's a minion. He was a minion. He wasn't even obsessed with all the headgear that goes along.
He loved it. He was
Didn't
into it.
want to take it off for a second.
Oh, I love this.
Get it, Ford. You're a showgirl.
He's a showgirl. He's a showgirl. He's like, yeah, I'll wear these giant goggles on my head.
No, because he was so good at the photo shoot. He's loving the costume. I mean, it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's going to like make you have a little holiday spirit, I think.
That's what I think is going to happen. Agree. I still hope he hates Santa again. I still hope he hates Santa.
He's not going to hate Santa. Okay.
He's going to love him.
My good week, bad week is a grouped good week, bad week. My bad week is that I think that even though I think it's funny when Reddit trolls me, I think that our fans might think that it actually hurts my feelings. And I just want to let you know, like, I read Reddit all the time. I Google myself on Reddit. I read all the terrible things about me. I think it's so funny. And I only take it really not that to heart. But I love how obsessed with my happiness some of the LadyGang listeners are, the ones that aren't writing shit about me on Reddit. So I got a message from a LadyGanger that said, this actually got sent to the LadyGang. Says, I want to tell you so much. I want to have you tell Keltie to remember when she's reading Reddit, there may be some people that don't like her, but there's also people that fly across an ocean or from Ohio, met a solo YOLO LadyGanger that night from there just to meet her. And that says a lot more about her as a person than what the trolls on Reddit say.
Oh,
thank you for flying across the ocean. I love meeting you guys on tour. Reddit is evil, but
what are people saying about you on Reddit?
And on which Reddits? There's no LadyGang Reddit, is there?
Is
subreddit?
It like e-news?
It's
mostly?
like no. Oh God, no. It's actually really about us. It's like someone said something like, "Oh, Keltie's just always asking people to listen to the podcast. They must really be suffering." And I'm like, no, guys, like I'm asking you to listen to the podcast because we put out 2 episodes every week. And
it's your job.
That's my job, like to let you know that who's on the podcast this week. Like,
also, if you look at any single person in entertainment, they're pimping out what they're doing. That's like part of the job. At all times. Kristen Bell is posting 1,000 times a day about her show on Netflix and it's crushing. It's not because it's suffering.
Exactly. So, and then people are like, your face, your head, your way you talk, like everything. But that's fine. And I don't care. Bye.
Your face, your head, the way you talk.
Your face, your head, the way you talk.
It's like the lyrics to a song.
It is an emo
Honestly,
song.
it's a pretty good song. Okay. Well, when we come back, Jonathan Bennett's here.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
The LadyGang.
Our guest today, stole our hearts, is the iconic Aaron Samuels in Mean Girls and has been stealing hearts every day since. He's got more jobs than we have time to list in this introduction, but he hosts Halloween Wards, just finished a run on Broadway in Spamalot. He's got a new movie trilogy, The Groomsman, and is the new king of Christmas with the new Hallmark Plus show, Finding Mr. Christmas. Plus, he has his own cruise ship. I'm honestly exhausted for him. Please welcome back to the podcast, our friend, Jonathan Bennett.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I want you to follow me around and say that everywhere I go, Keltie. Thank you.
I know. We
She
really
will.
should. We're filming this a little bit before Halloween, but it's going to air after. So
Okay.
Halloween Wars is essentially over.
Got it.
Just I'm putting
But it
us in
was
the future.
amazing.
But it was great.
It was great. Sure.
Way to go.
Third highest rated show of the year on Food Network. Let's go.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a big
Crush those
deal.
ratings. They love it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to talk about first? Well, my first question is, have you talked to Mariah Carey about taking over Christmas?
Yeah, look, I know Mariah Carey is a huge Mean Girls fan, and I know she's a huge Hallmark fan. So, because Lacey Chabert did a movie with her years ago, and Mariah Carey was fangirling for Lacey because of the Mean Girls of it all. So, I, however, saw Mariah Carey at New Year's Eve a few years ago when I was hosting New Year's Eve in Times Square, the ball drop, and she was going out for a sound check, and I was like the desperate queen on this. She's walking by my trailer. I have my RV thing set up, and I see her team walking by. I'm like, oh my God, it's Mariah Carey. And like a loser, I opened the door, and the only thing I could think of to yell, and this is so embarrassing, was, I was in Mean Girls.
No.
I yelled this at Mariah Carey, and she didn't hear me. Or maybe she did. She just kept walking. But I would think I was a psycho too and ignore me. But she just kept walking. But that was the only thing I could think of to say. And I turned, and my husband's standing there, and he goes, I was in Mean Girls. That's what you shout to Mariah Carey? And I'm like, I know, so embarrassing, so stupid. But yes, I haven't contacted her officially, but I feel like there needs to be some type of coronation. Do you think we should do a coronation where her and I walk together and get we have some sort of fun scepter and a whole outfit we wear together? Maybe.
Well, I don't think she's going to want to walk with you. I don't think no one walks beside Mariah. I think
You're
can
walking
go
behind her.
first.
I'll carry her train.
Yes.
And, I'll be the court jester. She's the queen, and I'm just dressed like a clown, laugh, madame, laugh.
I was in Mean Girls.
I'm an
Mean
idiot.
Girls.
Oh, I'm so stupid, but whatever.
Well, I'm really excited. And we can now, I'm so glad it got announced this week. We can now talk about this show. So explain the show. It's so brilliant.
So good.
Jonathan is the creator, executive producer, host. I mean, he's the dream, but he has a new Christmas show. Explain what it is. It's so fucking good.
It's called Finding Mr. Christmas and it's airing on Hallmark Plus, which is Hallmark's new streaming service. It's like their Netflix. You download the app and that's where you watch it. It is basically America's search for the next Hallmark holiday movie star. So, I mean, Keltie, you and I are big Drag Race fans.
Yes.
It's instead of Drag Race, it's instead of, finding the next queen, it's 10 hot guys and
In
one
flannel.
by one in flannels and boots and jeans. And, they're chopping down Christmas trees and one by one they're eliminated. And then our remaining star gets crowned Mr. Christmas. And then he is the lead of a Hallmark Christmas movie that will then air the following week after the finale. So the idea is that, there's so much fandemonium behind Hallmark. It's become part of pop culture. I always say there's traditions that we all have in our houses, and it's very rare that you get a new tradition added to what you do at the holidays. But Hallmark Channel movie watching is part of the holiday tradition, just like, putting up a tree or having dinner with your family. Watching Hallmark Christmas movies is part of those traditions. So I thought, what fun way to bring new actors into the Hallmark cinematic universe, like our Avengers that we have at the network. How do we add one? And I was like, well, what if we let the audience in on the process, all the fans in on the process of sorting through and finding who that next, Christmas hunk is. And so hopefully it's the Kelly Clarkson syndrome. By the end of watching 8 episodes, you've watched our winner rise and fall and grow and change, and you've become connected with him. So that way, when his movie airs, you're invested and you want to see how he does.
Oh
I love it so much.
Brilliant, right?
It's so brilliant.
Yeah, when we first heard about you doing this whole concept, we're like, that is so good. It's so good. It has everything. And like, we're going to so fall in love with the guy. There's just like no way we're not going to.
Yeah. And what's fun is what we did was we dissected what a Hallmark movie has in it. What are the tropes that you have in a Hallmark movie that all of your leading men have to kind of do? And we found a way to gamify each of those tropes. So each episode is, there's like a smaller challenge called a festive face-off where we test their holiday spirit, and we have these guys doing the craziest stuff. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. I can't believe Hallmark let me do it. Like there was some challenges where I'm like, I want to have them in t-shirts and they're going to go and, dunk these giant marshmallows and get soaking wet with hot chocolate, and their t-shirts are going to be wet and stuck to them, and they're going to run around a field. And like Hallmark said, yes. They're like, no, we get it. It's part of our pop culture. We love the idea. So each episode has like a small festive face-off where they they have to build a snowman blindfolded. They have, all these things that just are so ridiculous and dumb, but they're also fun, and it shows their personality where you see them just getting to be them. So we get to learn about them. And then we have our star quality challenge where those are designed to test their star quality. We're not saying we have to have the best actor. We have to have the best Hallmark star. We have to have the guy that when he comes on screen, not only can he act, but he makes everyone sit up in their chairs a little bit more. You lean towards the TV when you see him. Mm-hmm. So the challenges are everything from the meet cute, which, we love a meet cute, but we found a way to gamify it where when he meets the leading actress, it's not just him by himself, it's him with one of the other hunks. So now they're competing for the leading lady's attention in the scene. So it's a way to like compete while still keeping it in the tropes of what we're doing. And what's so cool is that we have different Hallmark guest stars for a lot of the episodes. And we have Keltie Knight and Whitney Carson, who are not Hallmark stars, but now they are, as our guest judges. So each episode, there's a new guest judge that rotates. And what's so fun is that we really thought, like, what does it take to be this star? What does it take to be a Hallmark star? What do you have to do? Well, you have to do a photo shoot. You have to do all these different scenes in these movies, and we test that. But then you also have to do press. And that's where Keltie Knight came in and was so gracious to come and bless us with her presence.
You're welcome. You're welcome, America.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so she came on and we do a challenge, and Keltie puts them right in the hot seat after the challenge and does an interview with them and makes them think on their toes, which is something you have to do as a actor on the network.
Yeah, I gave him such a riz. I gave him the pizzazz. And they didn't know they were getting an interview, so they just walked in, and then they were like, whoa. And then some of them, like, it was crazy to watch. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but it's like some of them just had that star power where they were just like, anything they said I was hanging off it. I was like, oh my God, you have it. You have the riz. And then some of them you're like, oh, you're so hot, but like, you don't have the riz. Like it was crazy. Like you just knew it in that moment. So it was such a fun day. I'm so happy for you. And then I keep seeing The Groomsman. This is a trilogy of movies. It's 3 hot guys. You're one of them.
Yeah.
And you're each going to each other's weddings?
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I came up with this idea where, again...
So do you do anything where someone just gives you a script anymore, or you just invent it all?
I did one this year and I hated it because I was like, no, but I want to do this. And I was like, oh, I'm not in charge. So I just have to like say my lines. And as the micromanaging iced coffee gay that I am, this is my iced coffee sound, if you can hear it. // there are times when they just call me and say, hey, go shoot this. But majority of my last 2 years at Hallmark starts with me on a Zoom with all the executives saying, I have a crazy idea, and watching them all like just go, oh God, what now? And I'm like, go with me. But I had this idea that I thought was really interesting of basically it's the hangover for Hallmark. Ooh. Like what is...
It's just like, how do you have this brain? I'm so jealous. Like I get one good idea like LadyGang every 10 years. And like you just have 2 of these ideas in one season, one holiday season. We get the hangover for Hallmark and Mr. Christmas. You're so annoying.
trust me, I think everyone's annoyed with me at this point. They're like, stop bringing us stuff. But the Groomsman is brilliant because we've seen how many Hallmark movies told from the female point of view. How many? 1 million, right? And I got married 2 years ago, and I had like my groomsman in my wedding, and then I was a groomsman in like 4 of my guy friends' weddings the years before that. So it's always like the same. And you guys have been to so many weddings, at our age, like everyone's getting married or people aren't getting married. Like, what it's like where it's like that group of friends, and it kind of like, it's the same group of friends at each wedding because it's like the squad, right? So I was like, what if we told the like rom-com from the guy's point of view, doing like The Hangover for Hallmark, because when I was on my friend's bachelor party, and when I was my buddies were in my wedding, and we were having like all of our hijinks like the days before the wedding at the resort in the pool, like all the stuff. I was like, this is interesting because you're seeing like it from the male's point of view, which is a completely different point of view. And there's a different relationship dynamic between a squad of guy friends versus a squad of girlfriends and a squad of like, everyone else. Because the guy friends, like usually the male squad, it's all about making fun of each other. And that's how they show that they love each other, right? Like I'm never going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm so glad you're my friend. I'm going to be like, you're an idiot. And that means, and like that's him knowing like, oh, he loves me. But like there is a different dynamic in like a male squad of friends. And I wanted to show that. And I think what's interesting is you get twofold when you have these movies, The Groomsman. You're pulling back the curtain because, I mean, sure, ladies, you always wonder, like, what do the guys do on the bachelor party? What are they talking about? What are they saying? Like, what's going on? So the female audience gets kind of let behind the curtain to see the bachelor parties and see like what's going on. Like you think they're like, oh, they're out, at the casino and doing all this stuff, when really we're like in the Airbnb, like trying to jump from like the top banister onto the couch and to see who can do it without breaking their neck. So it's like, it's a different dynamic. And I think that's really fun for the female viewer to like see behind the curtain. But then all the female viewers and a lot of our male viewers that watch, they watch with their boyfriends, watch with their husbands. And so now there's a storyline and a huge franchise of movies we plan to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like the goal is to tell the chapters of these guys' lives. And now the guys that are watching are going, oh, wait, that reminds me of my group of friends. So like, it's really cross watching for like males and females at the same time, which I think is really interesting. And it's a huge deal because it's our first same-sex wedding on Hallmark Channel. So I'm very excited about that. My storyline, my character is gay, and Tyler Hines plays Jackson and BJ Britt plays Pete, and they're both straight characters. And I thought that's a really fun thing in 2024 to show what a real group of friends looks like, because I have a ton of straight friends and, we're all in the same group. So it's like, not really do you see a story where it's like gay friends and straight friends all as like one squad, but that's what it is in 2024. So why not show that? And I think it's such a powerful thing to have, a gay storyline where there's a wedding between 2 men and you have Tyler and BJ playing their characters standing up next to me, supporting me, like being right next to me. And I think that's a really powerful image to see these 2 guys who are straight as the groomsmen in their best gay friend's wedding, like standing up next to him and supporting him. I think that's a super powerful image for the network.
Oh, I love
For sure.
that.
I love it. I want to know.
We have to talk. We have to go back, Keltie. Who was your favorite Finding Mr. Christmas hunk that you got to meet?
Oh.
Or can we say? I think we can say like. I want to hear from your point of view what you thought of the hunks, because you're the audience.
Yeah. Well, okay. So first of all, they're so good looking. Like each of them is so good looking in their own special way. There was one, oh my God, I'm not going to remember his name, but this is so mean, but this is, okay, I'm going to be real. He came in and I thought he might be a little dumb. And I was like, oh, but he's like, there's a guy on the show that is like Yellowstone. Like if Yellowstone was a man, this is the man. Like he is so simple, but like in the most beautiful, romantic way. And when we did the interview, I think he actually did really well in our episode. I haven't seen the edit, but when we did the interview, he was just like, it was clear that he knew nothing about Hollywood. Like he didn't know how to put the Riz on or like what he was supposed to say. He's probably never watched an entertainment news show in his life because he's like been out, if I imagine, with like his small border collie dog in the field, like making sure the cows got their grass in the morning. Like this is what this man felt like. But he was so charming because he literally had no idea like what to say and was just up for anything that I was like, it was so crazy being on set of that show because I was only there for one day and I got so into it in the way that I get into Drag Race or when I used to watch Project Runway all the time. Like I cared so much. I was like, I mean, I can't remember their names, but like, I was like, you better not send William home. Like I was like texting Jonathan after and I was like, who wins? He won't tell me. But like, I just got so into it. And I think there's something in my soul that I am a mean, terrible, dark person, but I do like watching someone's dreams come true. That is like a it moment for me. Like, I don't watch porn. I'm not really into like
this monologue is the weirdest thing you've ever said.
You've really gone everywhere.
It's so bizarre. Just keep going. Like what? How did we go from Hallmark hunks to porn? Like they're the antithesis
only on
of
LadyGang.
Hallmark
Only on LadyGang.
Because it sparked joy in my guts.
Yeah.
I didn't mean porn.
Parts.
I meant like there's so few things that like surprise you in adult.
Yeah, go on, keep going.
No, this is what
she
happens
got
when
invested.
When Keltie doesn't know what to say, it just like keeps going.
She said 400 likes. So listeners, I know, I see you, I feel you. We'll edit a few of those likes out.
I'm so sorry, but it's a great show.
The moral of the story is Keltie has a black, cold heart.
Yes.
And she got invested in something so pure. And you know, I really am excited to see who wins. Because as you know, I have worked with a lot of Hallmark hunks.
You have. You've done a lot of Hallmarks.
Some are duds. And I wish that they had been competing for that role, if you know what I mean.
I mean, you know what? The thing we were looking for on the show was that it factor. And like everyone says, like, what do they have to be? I was like, well, they have to be charming. They have to have a sense of humor. They have to be, you know, funny and nice and kind. But they also have to have that thing you can't explain, and we'll know it when we see it.
I think what you're looking for is BDE.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll know it when you see it on camera.
Big Christmas energy.
That's right. Wow. They got that BCE. They're bringing the big Christmas energy.
Oh my God, that's so good.
That is good.
So good. And I'll make t-shirts for them.
Okay.
And it's looking for that X factor, like that thing that you can't explain, but like you just, like I said, we'll know the winner when we find the guy that we want to watch read the phone book. Yeah. Like when you have a guy that you're like, I could watch him read the phone book. Like that's the guy we'll know is the winner. And you know, again, going back to the dreams come true, what was so fun is that we created a really safe space for these guys on the show itself, where, you know, we didn't come in and produce them the way you would reality stars. Because we're Hallmark, we wanted to approach it differently. I said, I've been on all the reality shows. I've been on Celebrity Big Brother. I've been on Dancing with the Stars. You know, I know what it's like to be produced and like have that producer sitting there.
You
like,
have? You've been asked to be on all of those?
Yeah.
What's that like?
You
have?
You
did turn things down?
I did really, I don't turn anything down. We clearly look at my career. The thing with those are I was voted off first on Celebrity Brother and I was voted out third on Dancing with the Stars. So didn't go so well. But the thing is like, I didn't want to produce them the way that other shows do. I was like, what if we just give them a safe space where they can like open up and grow and like learn about themselves and like dig deep and like find these emotional things they want to bring to their acting. And we do it in a safe space where they don't feel like they're being produced. It'll be better. And it ended up working because 10 guys walked in the house as competitors, but they left a family. They are such a brotherhood. There's a group chat. They talk in it every day. Like it was so funny because one of our contestants, Daxton, who's gay, he said we were chatting about the group chat, and he's like, all I get is like, bro, dude, bros, enough with the bros, guys. He's like, I have to wake up every day to like 15 bros in my chat. Like, hey, bro. And Daxton was so annoyed by it, which I think is really funny. But like, they really did, like, sure, you're going to see them shirtless. Like we might take their shirts off and they might hold puppies and do a photo shoot. Like whatever. So
it's important.
Yeah, it's important for their character development. And I think there's all those fun moments that we're expecting to see in the show, but what you're not expecting to see, which we weren't expecting, we didn't know was going to happen, is the amount that these guys, now these are very, very much, I don't know how to say I don't want to say masculine because that's not the word. They're such
macho
men. They're just men.
Yeah.
And to watch these guys, grown men, talk to each other about super vulnerable stuff and open up to each other about super crunchy stuff that they probably have never talked to anyone else about, but not only talk to anyone else about, talk to someone else on national television and share that part of their life. They became so bonded and such good friends overnight from all this that like, it's a really magical thing to see, to watch. And I think the audience is going to really respond to it because like sure they're hot, but like at the end of the day, when we actually see their heart and you see who these guys are and they're willing to be, they have the courage enough to be that vulnerable. That's where the show sings. That's where you get like, oh, wow, we're actually having a takeaway as an audience.
It's exactly like LadyGang. Sure, they're hot, but like, you know what I mean?
Like, talk about porn
hot,
too.
but they're vulnerable.
But they're vulnerable.
That's
they
what
have
they
it.
do. I mean, you guys are so vulnerable.
So hot.
vulnerable.
so
hot.
extra.
Just
so hot.
jaded. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a question for you. I want to know what your thoughts are on the Lohan-assance. Because for so many years, here's what I think is interesting about this. So Mean Girls came out, huge hit. Obviously, y'all rocket to fame. Then there was like a time when like we couldn't find Lindsay. She was over in Ibiza. Like she was hiding from Hollywood.
She was at my house. Yeah.
She was at your house in the basement. Yeah. And like everywhere we went, I mean, it's like Becca on Glee. Like you actually can't do an interview unless we ask you about like one of those things. Like, is there a group chat still? Like, you know, every interview has to be that.
Right.
So, but you would ask and you'd be like, yeah, she's great. Like whatever. But now she's like, she really great. Like she is hot. Like we had her on E last night or like a big picture of her. I was like, hold on. This woman has not aged. She's like crushing it. The fashion, the everything, like Freakier Friday. Like this is actually a real Lohan-assance.
I'm here for the Lohan-assance.
Can we circle back to Keltie saying she was on E and then she corrected herself? Yes. Just a big picture of her was on E.
Keltie was like, I sat down and got the exclusive interview on E! News with Lindsay Lohan. Actually, you showed a picture of her.
That was actually amazing.
No, it's because the big wall is like, it's very telling. Like when you blow that photo up to be 30 feet high.
Oh yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, you can really see what's happening. You can see the pores.
She's so hot. It's insane. Like I don't know what she did to like what if she made a deal with like someone that like, hey, I'm never gonna age, but whatever it is, it's gorgeous. And she looks so phenomenal. I think what's interesting about Lindsay is didn't she move? I could be wrong. This is just don't fact check this because I have no idea. But I think she moved to like Dubai or somewhere for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I saw her, the first time I saw her, which was like 7 years ago, we went and did something at like MTV and it was like our reuniting where we hadn't seen each other in almost 10 years. And she was like, I live in Dubai because you can't take photos of people.
Wow.
And that's like the law there. I'm totally butchering this. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure that's not the law, but there's something to do with that.
She was at E for the big screen. I get it.
Yeah, cause I think she got so overwhelmed with how, you know, all of Hollywood, you know, especially it was a different time in Hollywood where it was a little more, pushy and like, it was more aggressive because we didn't have social media. So like you wanted to look into like stars' lives. Now, like paparazzi doesn't really matter because like if I want to see what Jennifer Garner's doing, I just go to her Instagram and she's making like a cake. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
she sure is.
So like you need to like with Lindsay, I think she moved away so she could just not have everyone like in her business taking pictures of her for forever. And I think that was a really good thing for her because it kind of like gave her a break and like let her breathe a bit. And then she could really like settle into like who she was without all that. And then come back and be like, oh no, here's who I am. And I think that's I'm here for the Lohan-assance. I vote for it. I'll vote for her. I think, I'm just really proud of her. Like that doesn't happen all the time. And so, but again, people always ask like, what's she like? I'm like, she's like her own country. Like, it's like when you're with her, you're just like, the amount of like power that just comes from her presence in the room is so insane. She just has such a, it's like you walk in the room, she walks in the room and you can feel that like Lindsay Lohan's in the room. Like it, because she's such a force and has such a strong like presence when she's in the room that it's those moments where you're like, oh, that's why you're Lindsay Lohan. Right. Got it. Like when it was the same thing when I was at like Erewhon on Beverly and I was in line checking out and David Beckham was standing in front of me and he was in like sweatpants and like a tank top. And like, I remember going up to check out and like, there was just this like, aura coming from him. Jesus. And I couldn't see his face, but I was like, what is this person? Like, I've never seen someone look like this before.
He smells like money.
Yeah. And then like he turned to like get something. And I was like, oh my God, that's David Beckham. But
and
then
you're like, I was in Mean Girls.
Yeah, I was like, I was in Mean Girls. No, not a fan. Cool. Spice Girls? No. And in that moment, you're like, oh, that's a superstar. Cause you can just like feel it.
Yeah,
like there's something about some of these people that are like such A-list celebrities, and they're A-list celebrities because they have that thing, which is what we were looking for in Finding Mr. Christmas.
Oh, he brought it back around.
Brought it back. See, I'm a masterclass in interviewing. I can't wait to watch Finding Mr. Christmas on Hallmark Plus, which starts on Halloween. No big deal.
I have a hot Dina Lohan story for everyone.
Yes.
I want to hear it.
I have a little hot Christmas. Also can't fact check. Well, I actually can fact check this. So for a long time, Dina was known as being a former Radio City Rockette. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like her claim to fame was that she was a Rockette, and like she lived in New York and she was a Rockette and all this stuff. Comes to turn out that the alumni looked into this. Dina was never a Rockette. She went to the Rockette summer camp. She went to the training camp. Like there's like a Rockette. It's called the Rockette Intensive. When she was a youth, she went to the Rockette Intensive and trained with the Rockettes, but she never performed in the Christmas Spectacular. So
it's kind of like when you say that you've climbed Mount Everest, but you just like went to the
base camp.
Yeah.
I say that about Chris too, because he only went to base camp. Or it's like me saying I've won 3 Emmys when actually they were just daytime group Emmys. You know what I mean?
You tell people that you're going to the Met and really you're standing outside the Met.
Or when Keltie went to the royal wedding, but she was like 3 miles away.
She was 4 miles away.
Or when Keltie said that she had Lindsay Lohan on E! News last night, but it was just a photo.
I think we're uncovering that you and Dina Lohan have actually quite a bit in common.
This is such.
My God.
True. You guys have so much in common.
I was trying to train Dina, and then I realized I am Dina.
Oh my gosh, Dina, it's so wonderful to be here with you on LadyGang. What I love here's what I love about Dina Lohan. When I did Celebrity Big Brother, she took such good care of me.
Was she on with you?
She was like my mom. She was on the season with me.
Oh my
God.
God.
When it came time to vote me out of the house, she was the only one that didn't. And everyone else was like, Jonathan. I'm like getting all the votes to be evicted. And she voted for someone else. And she goes, I just couldn't do it. He's like my son. I mean,
she can stay. She's a Radio City Rockette.
Have we all said things that like, oh yeah, I used to do that because we just say it because it makes us feel good. Maybe. Like, I don't know.
It's like when I'm like, LadyGang is the #1 podcast in the world. Like, we know that's not
Aunt
true.
Debbie,
according to you.
I always say things,
to me.
According to my Aunt Debbie, I'm the #1 actor on Hallmark. But that's my aunt.
I think you actually might be. Yeah.
Tyler Hines. He's our leader.
I don't know who Tyler Hines is.
Me neither.
I
mean, I know who he is, but he's not Jonathan.
It's
upsetting. I will say there's a giant picture of Lacey on Ventura. I would say the #1 is Lacey. The male
#1
is you.
Lacey. Can I tell you about that picture of Lacey on Ventura? Can I tell you about it? So this Lacey got a giant billboard for Hallmark Plus on Ventura, which we are so happy about. What Jonathan got from that same photo shoot he did with Lacey.
No!
Wait for it. What Jonathan got, which is like so fitting and so Jonathan, is, hold on, I have to show it to you. Hold on, we'll cut all this out because it's too good not to. Who sent it to me? Someone sent it to me. Oh, Rachel did. Yeah, this is what Jonathan got. he is on the value pack mailer
Shut up.
that comes in your mail that you throw away. So it was just very fitting. Like Lacey always, reigns over all of us as our queen.
She's the queen.
And Jonathan.
That's the same photo shoot.
That's the exact same photo shoot, and I'm the coupon.
No.
And they cut you out. The purple and everything, they cut you out. It's massive.
You know what?
Ventura Boulevard is a huge street here in Los Angeles, listeners. And there's a Hallmark building, and there's one of the biggest billboards I've ever seen in my
ever.
And it's
in
Lacey
LA.
looking gorgeous and like doing all the Hallmark stuff. And they're like, Jonathan, you'll be on the coupon pack so people can save $2 when they sign up.
This is
God.
incredible.
on their window
Ouch, dude.
washing.
You got to stay humble. You got to stay
You know
humble.
what? I'm not mad at it because Lacey is our queen and our leader. So, she
Yeah, it's
deserves to be on
fine.
that billboard. So I'm not mad at it. I just think it's funny.
I think it's
Wow, that's
hilarious. And also, I'll think of you when I get my discount on my window washing this holiday season, you
Or
know?
when you use that to sign up for Hallmark Plus, which is Hallmark's new membership rewards program, which is really crazy. It's a
Googled-
membership rewards who'd you Google?
Tyler Hines. Sorry to interrupt
No,
your
I wanna
sales
hear about him.
pitch.
He's sexy.
Yeah,
He's
he's
one of
like
the groomsmen.
definitely more rugged than
Yeah, he's like our bad boy of the network.
He's
Like
a
he's our
mountain man.
he's like the
yeah.
he's like sultry and he wears like Dickies pants and like boots and rides a Harley.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of the bad boy and he's one of the groomsmen. And
I think Becca's into this. I think she might be
No, he's hot.
planning
I
her
looked him
next
up.
Hallmark movie.
No, the problem is that when you do a Hallmark movie, not the problem, but when you do a Hallmark movie as an American actress, 99% of the time you're paired with a Canadian actor.
he's Canadian.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, maybe we'll get you and Tyler in a Hallmark movie together.
Oh my gosh.
So here's the thing about Tyler Hines. Tyler Hines just oozes cool. Like everything about him is
Yeah.
So does
cool.
Becca.
Like
So do-
they're
Not
both
right now, but
cool.
normally.
Normally,
True. But here's the
Like,
problem with
he's
me. I think I'm a little too cool for Hallmark audiences. I think the women really dislike me because every time I see something after I do a Hallmark movie and I go to Hallmark Instagrams, they'll be like, here, catch Becca in this Hanukkah movie. It's wonderful. And then most of the women will be like, yeah, it was a great movie, but I don't know about the actress. Ugh.
Because they can see right past it. They know who you are in your soul.
They're like, I don't know about that actress though. Ooh, and like weird emoji faces. And they're like, but
Yeah,
he's
if
wonderful.
If you don't have haters, you ain't it.
Yeah, that's right.
You think no one ever came for Jonathan? I mean, no one did, except on
No,
Big Brother
people
and
do.
Dancing
But,
with the
like,
Stars.
This was a new one. This was a fun one. On the Hallmark. Oh, this was great. Which, you know what? I'm glad that I can be the one because I can take the heat. But this was great. He said, oh, this was wonderful. This lovely person said, because we're doing the first gay wedding at Hallmark. So he said, I'm appalled that Hallmark would put out a movie about a gay marriage. This is supposed to be a family-friendly oriented network. Vomit face. And so, which I replied, oh, sweetie, stop flirting. Because that just really gets them going.
That gets them
That'll
going.
get 'em
I have to
Aw,
say,
do you think I'm too cute? Thank you.
I do have to say, I'm really happy that you've become such a humongous pillar on a network that has not always attracted people who would support someone with your lifestyle, a gay
Exactly.
man showing gay relationships on screen. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Hallmark.
Thank you.
And it can't be easy. I think that you don't give yourself enough credit. Like you have a very thick skin because if people are coming for me because they just don't like my overall aura, and people are certainly coming for you because they don't agree, with your lifestyle. And it's gross.
Thank you. That's really sweet. It's, I am proud to have done the first same-sex kiss in a Christmas movie in history, which was The Christmas House 3 years ago. And we actually got to put our clothes from that scene and our script in the Smithsonian archives. So,
Oh my God.
because what I did was I stole my jacket because it was fitted to me. And so I was like, oh, I want this jacket. And so I took it. And then like a couple of weeks later, they're like, hey, we need that jacket back. I was like, I don't know what jacket you're talking about. I didn't take a jacket. And then like the next person above that person called and was like, we really need the jacket back because it's going into the Smithsonian. And I was like, you know what? It's so funny. I just found it. It was behind something. I didn't see it. So I'm very proud to do that. And I'm very proud to like do the first gay-led Christmas movie where, the gay storyline, the same-sex storyline wasn't, a B or a C storyline, but the whole movie was just that. And then to be doing this wedding. And I think what's interesting is that I tell, what we're very conscious of when we're telling these stories is like, we're not making a gay wedding. We're not making a gay movie. Nothing of it's gay. They're movies with really good characters that are humans that just happen to be queer.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? Like some of these movies come out and they tell the story from a point of view that not everyone can relate to. And I knew once I did my first Christmas movie where I played a gay character that my purpose and mission in life is to tell queer stories to a broad audience. Because I say, if you already watch Drag Race, we already have you. You're already on our side.
Yeah.
My job is to tell these stories in spaces where people might not know a person who's queer. And by doing that, we have to be very careful in how we tell them. So that way, the first thing they're identifying with and connecting to is the humanity of the person on screen. When they connect you as a human, then they're along for the ride because they're invested in you. And then maybe by the end of that movie, because you've done such a incredible job of storytelling, maybe, and we've used comedy and used things, maybe that will change some of the hearts and minds of the people watching it that might have gone into this thinking it's going to be one thing. And then by the time the movie's over, they're like, oh, so that's what their relationships look like. Okay. Like maybe it's no big deal. And so that's the goal. That's why we never say we never say gay, we never say queer, we never say LGBTQ plus in any of the movies. And we never acknowledge it because it doesn't need to be acknowledged. It just is. Yeah. Like in the Groomsman, we don't talk about it. We're just friends. And that's what friends look like. So when you don't give the audience that thing to focus on in the dialogue, you just show the humanity of the character. I think they relate to it. To a certain audience, they relate to it much better.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
Smart.
Jonathan makes me so happy. We are going to support you this holiday season we're going to watch The Groomsman. Then we're going to get Hallmark Plus, download the app, and we're going to watch Finding Mr. Christmas and Keltie's
But I need to say something about you.
Oh.
Keltie, you're a dark soul with a horrible black heart. However, I don't think that's true. And I want to call out Keltie Knight because when I was doing Finding Mr. Christmas, I had no money. We had no budget. We had to call in every favor we could. And the first person I called to be a guest judge was Keltie Knight. And without batting an eye, she just said yes. I said, I need your help. I'm going to start crying, but I'm not going to. I was like, I need your help. I'm doing this show. It's a first season. It's really complicated. And I need you to come and interview these guys from E! News. And without even a hesitation, she didn't say, oh, I have to check. She just goes, yes, when do you need me there? And I was like, well, we're going to have to get you out of E! And we're going to have to call John Redman and ask him if you can come for the day. And she's like, call him, we'll do it. And I called John Redman. I was like, I need help. I'm doing this new show. It's a first season and I need to make it great. And I need Keltie there. And he's like, absolutely, done, no problem. And in this business, there are very few people that you can go to that you genuinely feel like they want you to succeed and they want the best for you, because there's so much crap in the industry that's that's the opposite of that. And to have someone like Keltie who you can call and say, help me, and to not even hesitate, just say, yeah, I'm in. That is rare and it's beautiful. And I just want the world to know that, because even though you are a black soul, it's not true. There's so much good in Keltie Knight, and I'm so grateful for that. And I think it's a rare thing to have. So thank you.
Oh, that was sweet.
Well,
you're so sweet.
She did it for you because she really likes to get more things on her resume and more attention.
Which I'm not mad at. But I see the hustle.
But she also did it for you because every time your name comes up or anytime you are mentioned, you are always referred to as a class act, a good human in a world that's not always the best kind of people. You brought on this good karma as well. So
I agree.
You're both very similar types of people. You'll do anything for people that are good to you.
We'll do anything for fame, but then I'll do anything for my loyal people.
Yes,
that's true.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's
that was
about
a double
the hustle.
whammy.
What did Brene Brown say in that quote one time? She's like, if you aren't down in the
Oh, if
ring.
you're not in the arena getting your ass kicked, I don't care about your opinion.
Yeah. And so like because like the work that Keltie and you guys do on LadyGang to like just make this podcast happen every day and make all this stuff happen every day, no one sees all that work except people that also do that work. So it's like you see, and it's like sees like. And I'm like, oh, you're down in the arena getting your ass kicked, and I see that and I respect it and I love it, and it makes me want to go and get my ass kicked even more. So like when Keltie needs anything, it's like anything she needs because I see you and you're the one doing the work. So I will support you in any way I can because that's not easy to do. So it's like, I think there's a lot of that in it too, you know, like, yeah. So keep doing the work. And you guys who are listening to LadyGang, all of our LadyGang, what do you guys, are they like a
LadyGangers?
LadyGangers. Oh, that's what we call them. LadyGangers.
Lady bangers. Just kidding.
Lady bangers. I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about lady bangers. I was never one. But so the LadyGangers listening, just know that these beautiful girls who do this podcast, I know you enjoy it because we see what you guys say about it and how invested you are in their tour and everything they do. But like the amount of work it goes in that you'll never see to make this entertainment for you guys and to bring you into their family and like make you part of this whole squad. There's so much work behind the scenes that you don't see. So like shout them out on Instagram, shout them out on social, say thank you to them because it's a lot of work.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Bitches.
We love you.
I really needed this. Okay. You guys, Finding Mr. Christmas. We're all watching it. The Groomsman is out. Jonathan, thank you so much for being so handsome. Show those muscles. And we love you. Come anytime, hang out anytime. And thanks for doing this. I know you've been so busy, and we will
see you next
Tuesday.